Oh, when I don't sleep enough and I have a triple eyelid on my eye. Hi guys, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my August wrap up, and for the month of August I ended up reading a total of 13 books, which is insane. I haven't read that much since last year. I guess my reading game is on point this month. So let's get right into it. At the beginning of this month I actually participated in the BOOKTUBEATHON readathon. It's a week-long readathon, and I do have a wrap-up video for that, so we'll link to it down below. But I'll just quickly show you guys what I read during that week. So I managed to finish Breadcrumbs by Anne Ursel, Slated by Terry Terry, which is the first book in the Slated series, Dusk by Eve Edwards, which is the first book in the Dusk series, and The Taming of the Queen by Philippa Gregory, which is part of her sort of Tudor Court series. I think it's number 4, yep. So those were the 4 books that I read in the readathon. I do have a review for The Taming of the Queen, which is also on my blog, so I'll leave links to that down below. If I do have any reviews for all the books that I do mention, then they'll all be down in the description box below. Then I read If I Lie by Corinne Jackson, and this is a contemporary novel revolving around Quinn and her boyfriend Carey, and she's done something behind his back while he's gone on army service, and now he's MIA. The whole town hates her, but everything isn't really what it seems. Like there's some sort of secret behind all of this, and you sort of get to find out whilst you're reading the book. And I found that it was a very compelling and emotional read. I actually liked it a lot more than what I thought I would, and I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and this is a middle grade, I guess, novel, very short, about a girl who discovers an alternative universe through a door in her house. There she meets a lady called the Other Mother and the Other Father, so it's sort of like her family but flipped, and somehow she gets caught up in this world and she has to try and escape and try and find her parents. And it's pretty creepy read, I would say, but I read it because I wanted to watch the movie, and I'm going to be doing a book versus movie review very soon. It's going to come out, I think, the end of this week, so keep an eye out for that. But I found that it was a very entertaining and vivid read. And then I ended up reading The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold, and it's about a girl who gets raped and then murdered. That's not a spoiler, it is in the first sentence of the book, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows all about this because of the movie, and you sort of get to see you know, the people in her world grow up and live on after this traumatic experience, and it's all based on her, from her perspective, up in her heaven. I actually found this to be very thought-provoking. It was very moving, very engaging. There's a lot that goes on in this book. A lot of it I don't really agree to, but I guess realistically it does paint a very good portrait of how families have to deal with certain cases or certain traumatic experiences in their life. So I found that it was really good, and I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars as well. Next up is a book that I got sent to review, and that is Black Calm Point by Claire McFall. Sorry, I was going to say Claire Marshall, which is a YouTuber. And this is sort of paranormal / thriller, where a group of friends go camping and then slowly they begin to disappear, and the main character, Heather, is the only one that survives because her friend Dougie, there we go, is in a coma. And once the authorities find them, they sort of suspect that she's killed them, and now she's locked up in an asylum. There is a review up for this on my blog as well, but to cut it short, I thought it was a very interesting take, mixing the two genres together. I personally didn't think I loved every part of it. It was still engaging for the most part, but the ending is what really took me by surprise, and that is why I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars as well, just because I thought that the ending really did make up for all the other parts that was lacking. Definitely give it a read if you haven't. I just want to hear what people think about the ending, that's all. And then I went on to read another mystery book, and this is Picnic at Hanging Rock by Joan Lindsay, and this is actually set in Melbourne, so it's from an Australian author. And what I really loved about this is that the author hasn't really denied or agreed to the fact that this story is based on a true story. Hanging Rock is actually a place in Melbourne. A group of schoolgirls from a boarding school going to have a picnic at Hanging Rock. The 4 girls leave and only 1 returns, so the other 3 have gone missing, as well as a teacher, and then the whole community is sort of freaking out because they're like, where are these girls, what's happened to them, we don't know what's going on, and nobody can find any clues or any I guess hints to where they've gone. And you meet all these really interesting characters and all these different theories behind it. But I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars as well. And then I read The Duff, so The Designated Ugly Fat Friend by Cody Keplinger. I think that's how you pronounce your name, I'm sorry. I read this as an ebook and I loved it. I loved just everything about it for some reason. I think I was really in the mood for a contemporary. It is about a girl who is referred to as the Duff to her friends, and she gets involved with this guy who calls her the Duff, and it's this whole complex relationship, and also I guess her having to deal with her troubles at home and growing up as a teen in high school. Found that I was really surprised that I really liked this. I thought it was a very easy read. I flew through it, but it was very relatable for some reason, and I am very excited to watch the movie just so I can do a book versus movie review as well, because I've heard some pretty good things about the movie, so we'll see how that goes. I gave the book a 4 out of 5 stars though. Next up was Risk by Fleur Ferris, which is a book that is sort of based around true stories about cyber stalkers, so pedophiles who groom their prey on the internet. And I really appreciated the moral of the story, the lessons that it was trying to teach, but I personally don't think it was aimed for my age group. I feel like it is suited for more of a younger age group, which is why I didn't really engage with this very well. It has really good life lessons about being careful on the internet, you know, taking care of who you're talking to on the internet and all that stuff. If I had a younger sibling who I felt like really needed to read this, then I would definitely give it to that person. But for me, it just didn't really hit a mark, only because I've really learned all that stuff and I'm pretty sure I know what is safe and what isn't on the internet. So I gave this a 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, just because I thought it was an okay read. So yeah. Next up is The Disreputable History of Frankie Lando Banks by E. Lockhart, which is one of the most disappointing reads I've read this year so far. I really did like We Were Liars, and I felt like E. Lockhart has a really great way of writing, but this book just infuriated me. It tries to address feminism but in a very wrong way, and you will hear me rave on about it in a review that will be coming up very soon. I did not like anything about this. I was captivated the entire time I was reading it, like I flew through it. By the end of the book I realized that I just disliked everything, the character, the plot, the meaning of the novel, and I was questioning myself, why did I finish this? Why did I read this? What was the point? Like, I just wasted all my time. I am tossing up between a 2 or 3 stars. I haven't really decided yet, but do keep an eye out to see what I actually thought about this book very soon. And lastly, I read Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover, which is a new adult novel. It is one of the better new adult novels that I've read. I really liked it because it didn't focus on, I guess, sexual desires and physical intimacy. It was more about exploring relationships and, you know, all the emotions that come within a relationship, and I guess how you have to balance your feelings and your reasoning, which is something that's very relatable, especially as you grow up, because, you know, emotions can be very complex. It's really hard to sort of, I guess, deal with. And the characters themselves did have a little bit of depth within them, so there was a bit of character development, I guess, and the characters were very mature, which I really did like. So I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars as well. So overall, the month of August was a good read. I did enjoy most of the books that I read. Some of them weren't that great, but I am super happy as to the fact that I read 13 books. Leave a comment down below telling me what your favorite book was for this month. Otherwise, I shall see you guys soon. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye!